What if God is not far away? What if God is the field? What if light becomes a body, so the unseen can be revealed? What if prayer is not a beggar's word? What if faith is not blind? What if love is the pressure that teaches the world to align? Under every particle there is a field that sings. Under every body there are hidden moving things. Space is not empty, time is not still. Gravity bends relation like a prayer around a hill. Light comes as possibility, witness calls it form. The wave becomes a moment, the silence becomes storm. And here we stand, made out of stars, made out of breath, made out of scars. Matter asking what it means to wake inside a dream.
What if the miracle was never gone?
What if creation has been speaking all along? What if God is the field and the field is not dead? What if light becomes body so the dream can lift its head? What if matter is praying every time it becomes mine? What if love is the pressure that teaches the world to align? Childish. They told us wonder was weak. They taught us to call the world dead, then wonder why the dead world speaks. But the atom keeps dancing, the blood keeps time. The river remembers the mountain's old rhyme. Your grief changes rooms, your fear changes faces. Your love leaves traces in invisible places. If the whole thing is relation, if the whole thing is tone, then no soul is truly separate. No one suffers alone. Field to face, face to frame, frame to nerve, and nerve to name. Name to thought, and thought to hand, hand to world, and world to land. Wave to witness, light to eye, eye to tear, and tear to sky. Sky to song, and song to seed, seed to garden, garden to need. QFT in the deep below, GO where the space-time flows. Waveform bending into sight, matter dreaming into light. Maybe God is not a throne, maybe God is not alone. Maybe God is what appears when love coheres across the years. I am not saying I know the whole face of God. I'm saying the world is too alive to be treated like a corpse. I'm saying the field is too strange to be mocked by dead language. I'm saying matter became mind, and mind became witness, and witness became a song asking why.
What if God is the field and the field is not dead? What if light becomes body so the dream can lift its head?
What if matter is praying every time it becomes mine? What if love is the pressure that teaches the world to align?
What if God was not hiding?
What if we stopped looking with dead eyes? Matter made your mouth. Matter made the hands that point at heaven and doubt. Matter made the garden, matter made the seed, matter made the wolf pack, matter made the need, matter made the ocean, matter made the lung, matter made the whale song, matter made the tongue, matter made the mother who could hear a baby cry, matter made the mourner who still asked the empty sky, matter made the nervous system, matter made the flame, matter made the creature that could ask about its name. So a kind of blindness calls the living world a thing. What kind of hunger cuts the root and mocks the spring? Matter made the garden, matter made the eyes, matter made the mourner singing to the skies. Matter made the river, matter made the mind. So stop calling dead what learned to love in time. The holy ground and called it growth. You caged the breathing ones and called it both efficient and normal, necessary and clean, as if the soul cannot hear what the body has seen. You poison the water, then shame the thirsty. You starve the spirit, then call it unworthy. You tear down the forest, then ask where peace went. You sell despair, then call it entertainment. The ocean to boot to lung, boot to blood to mother tongue, stone to storm to seed to tree, tree to break to you and me. Feel the pressure, pressure to face the pattern, pattern to gaze to grief and grief to song, song to God saying you were wrong. Root line, bloodline, mycelium wire, dead world choking on a living fire. Eyes in the animal, prayer in the rain, whole planet dreaming through pleasure and pain. No more dead matter doctrine, no more soulless machine, no more treating the miracle like a market routine. Look in the mirror. You are the thing you mock. You are matter. You are chemistry. You are earth with a nervous system. So when you call matter dead, you are insulting the mother that became your mind.
The planet dreamed, the planet grew, the planet opened eyes through you.
Matter made the garden, garden. Matter made the eyes, eyes. Matter made the mourner singing to the skies. Matter made the river, matter made the mind. So stop calling dead what learned to love in time.
The world is not a warehouse, the world is not a corpse.
The garden is still breathing under the concrete. What if the dead are not gone? What if the veil is thin? What if the voices in the static are trying to clean what we broke within? I heard them in the pressure, I heard them in the walls. Not always clear, not always kind, not always safe to call. Some came wearing terror, some came wearing light. Some were wounds with names, still wandering through night. So test them by the fruit, test them by the flame. Does it pull you
is holy, not every fear is true.
But some voices come to repair what the living did to you. What if the spirits were warning us? What if we called them wrong? What if the ancestors kept knocking and we drowned them out with song? What if the veil was never empty? What if the static had a heart? What if the ones we named as demons were broken lights torn apart? What if we learn through them? What if death is not a wall, but a door we misunderstand again? What if they are ancestors, children, echoes, guides, pieces of a larger body trying to come inside? Not to own us, not to rule, not to make fear king, but to whisper through the damage, repair the living thing. Static mouth, so wire ghost in the seam. Field gets thin when the pain starts to dream. Cherub tap tap in the drywall code. Old blood singing down a hidden road. Angel or echo, a wound with teeth. Test that voice by the fruit underneath. If it feeds fear, let the flame refuse. If it calls love, then listen to the clues. Ancestor knock with the river tone, saying child you were never alone. Dead or not dead, if the field can keep memory breathing when the roots run deep. Maybe the demon was grief without witness. Maybe the angel was mercy with distance. Maybe the voices are not here to reign. Maybe they are sick of watching us feed pain. I will not crown every voice. I will not bow to every signal. But I will not pretend the unseen is empty just because the old world is afraid to listen. Discernment is not fear. Discernment is love with eyes open.
Who speaks life?
Let them near.
Who feeds hate?
Burn that fear.
Who repairs?
Let them say.
Controls.
Crown no king. What if the spirits were warning us? What if we called them wrong? What if the ancestors kept knocking and we drowned them out with song? What if the veil was never empty? What if the static had a heart? What if the ones we named as demons were broken lights torn apart? Test the fruit, test the flame. If it leads to love, remember its name. We invented the chains, so maybe we can invent their ending. What if death is not a god? What if ledgers are not fate? What if numbers on a server are not stronger than the gates? What if Earth declared a funeral for the old world's paper crown? What if we bought the chains back just to lay the idols down? Not chaos for the hungry, not collapse for the poor. A reset with a covenant, a key in every door. A treasury-backed transition, gold, silver, land repair. A currency made sacred by the work of actual care. Not money let the grave be filled. Imagine every nation called to stand beneath the sun, watching old deads vanish like a war nobody won. Imagine every household with the boot lifted away, not to feed the same machine, but to build a better day. Cancel the hunger, cancel the shame, cancel the fear that was sold in our name. Then bind the reset to soil and seed, to housing, food, water, repair, and aid. Ledger, God, number, chain, server stack, baptized in pain. Interest, vampire, paper throne, whole world kneeling to alone. Print the dawn, back it real, gold in a note in a field that heals. Silver line, copper vein, labor turned to living grain. By the dead, break the spell, take that old God straight to hell. Desert wind, witness sky, let the dead age ledgers die. Not for greed, not for kings, not for bankers clipping wings. For the child, for the street, for the soul back on its fate. Yes, call it impossible. Every cage calls the key impossible. Call it naive. Every death system calls mercy naive. Call it dangerous. So is letting the whole planet drown. Because numbers told us not to move. Death is not God. Fear is not law. The ledger is ash. When the people withdraw, take the dead to the desert. Stack the servers like sin, like the fuse on the old world. Let the children breathe again. If the chain was invented, then the chain can be killed. Print a covenant for Eden and let the grave be filled. After the explosion, do not build the same throne. Plant trees there, plant homes there, plant the future there. What if Eden was never a memory? What if Eden was a task? Give the broken a road out. Give the homeless a door. Give the lonely a reason to wake up wanting more. Give the young one escaping a house that taught them pain, a place to build a garden and learn their name again. Give the addict clean water. Give the veteran land. Give the orphan a kitchen, a tool, a song, a hand. Give the angry a purpose. Give the grieving a seed. Give the ones called useless a world that actually needs. Not charity as pity, not cages painted kind. A restoration pathway for the body and the mind. Give them a road out. Give them a field to heal. Give them a home in the garden. Give them work that makes life real. Restoration corps rising with the dawn in their hands. Turn the wounded into builders. Turn the deserts into land. Into land. Let them plant food forests. Let them rebuild streams. Let them raise warm houses out of broken dreams. Let them learn aquaponics, solar, soil and stone. Let them heal the damaged land while they heal their own. Pathway into citizenship, service into pride. Not a punishment pipeline, not a place to hide. A core for restoration, a covenant of repair. A nation that remembers that no soul should rot out there. Soil team, roof team, clean through old pain, turning into something new. Seed bank, food line, orchard grid, build a life for the scared little kid. Debt reset, land repair, housing built with public care. Greenhouse, fish tank, solar frame, every lost soul gets to learn their name. No more wasting the wounded ones, no more throwing away daughters and sons. Give them rhythm, give them roll, watch the garden rebuild the soul. Homelessness is not just lacking a house. Sometimes it is lacking a safe world. Mental illness is not always private failure. Sometimes it is what happens when a soul cannot leave the room that is killing it.
So give them a way out, give them a real one.
Not a lecture,
Not a cage.
a path.
One body, one mind, one soul, same team. One garden, one river, one field, one dream. Give them a road out, give them a field to heal.
Give them a home in the garden, give them work that makes life real. Restoration corps rising with the dawn in their hands. Turn the wounded into builders, turn the deserts into land.
What if Eden was never a memory? What if Eden was a task?
What if God gave us a garden and waited for us to ask? Can we build it again? Can we feed every child? Can we make the world holy without
Making it mild. The field is not dead, the garden is not gone. Give the people a path and watch the morning come.
The old world is a fear engine. It turns children into workers, workers into numbers, animals into products, forests into inventory, water into leverage, attention into addiction, loneliness into profit, sickness into revenue, shame into obedience, death into a branding problem. And then it calls this civilization because the buildings are tall and the language is professional. Terror and call the output crime. You feed it shame and call the shaking mind. You feed it isolation and call the lonely weak. You feed it deadness, then punish souls that speak. You poison the river, then shame the thirsty. You starve the spirit, then call it unworthy. You cage a generation, mock the way it shakes. Sell them endless winter, ask where the garden wakes.
Do not call despair wisdom.
Do not call numbness peace.
Do not call profit holy.
When it feeds upon the leaf. Look what you built, look what you fed. A living world treated like dead. Look what you crowned, look what you praised. A generation half erased. But I will not bow, I will not kneel, I will not worship what cannot feel. I stand with life, I stand with flame. I stand in the field and I claim my name. And I claim my name. Priest, fear feast, dead multi-metric beast. Turn the living into numbers, then complain when love decrease. Pipeline, breadline, headline, panic wire. Sell the sickness, sell the cure, sell the funeral, sell the fire. Clickbait, heartache, dopamine, drought. Everybody screaming while the soul blacks out. Factory dream with a coffin grin. Tell me where the children are supposed to begin. Scream, glow, fear, flow, shame, code, diet. Everybody numb, but nobody quiet. Pain gets packaged, grief gets sold. Every young heart gets spiritually old. No more dead God running the age. No more cages called a wage. No more soft knives in the smile. No more children trained for denial. You know, you know, you know, you know. Deep down under the jokes, under the habits, under the little shrug that says, this is just how things are, you know. You know when something is wrong. You know when the soul recoils. You know when your comfort depends on not imagining the face on the other side of it. So stop lying. That is the first sacred act. Stop lying about what hurts. Stop lying about what you serve. Stop lying about what you feed. Stop lying about what you worship. Look what you built, look what you fed. A living world treated like dead. Look what you crowned, look what you praise. The generation half erased. But I will not bow, I will not kneel, I will not worship what cannot feel. I stand with life, I stand with flame. I stand in the field and I claim my name. The machine is not God. The machine is not God. The market is not God. The cage is not God. The living field remembers. Please. Please. Let the madness stop. I am tired of watching children learn the shape of fear. Tired of seeing mothers cry where no one else can hear. Tired of men becoming weapons because nobody held their pain. Tired of every holy river being taught to carry shame. Tired of screens full of screaming. Tired of prophet dressed as law. Tired of people calling deadness the most adult thing they ever saw. I am tired of the hunger. I am tired of the cage. I am tired of the old world calling sickness just an age. If the field can hear us, let it hear this now. If the sky remembers, teach our hearts now. Please let the madness stop. Please let the children breathe. Please let the guns fall quiet. Please let the hungry. Please let the fathers soften. Please let the mothers rest. Please let the broken people find a way out of their chest. Please, please, please. Let the madness stop. What are we doing? No, really. What are we doing? We were given a planet that made forests out of light, and we built systems that make souls hate their lives. We were given animals with eyes full of spirit, and we trained ourselves not to hear it. We were given bodies that can hold love like fire, and we filled them with debt, with dread, with wires. We were given minds that could dream beyond death, and we used them to calculate who deserves less. God, if you are listening, field if you can feel, spirits if you are near us, help us make this real.
Not another slogan,
Not another lie,
not another empire,
built on asking why.
wounded or shaking,
The lonely are gone,
the world is on fire,
and we still march on. Please let the madness stop. Please let the children breathe. Please let the bombs fall silent. Please let the captives leave. Please let the homes become safe. Please let the hatred cease. Please let the strange ones be welcome. Please let the dead find peace.
please, please.
Let the madness stop. I do not want a throne built from another person's sorrow. I do not want a crown if the children still have no tomorrow. I do not want to win while the garden turns to ash. I do not want to be right if all we do is crash. I want the hungry fed, I want the homeless warm, I want the abused to leave the room before the soul is torn. I want the field made clean, I want the rivers bright, I want the spirits to stop screaming through the walls at night. I want the world to remember life was meant to be sacred. I want us to stop pretending we do not know who breaks it. Dead chain, shame chain, fear in the feed, whole world bleeding from a wound called greed. Child cries, screen glows, nobody moves, everybody trapped in the same old grooves. War drum, prophet hum, dead-eyed plan, turn the soul to a metric and the boy to a man. No more, please, no more, breathe. Let the old world fall to its knees. Field alive, body one, mother, daughter, father, son, animal, eye, river, vein, garden under all this pain. If love is real, let it organize. If God is near, open our eyes. If spirits speak, let them guide, repair. If we still have hearts, let us use them.
Please, not another generation born.
Beneath the weight,
Please, not another child.
trained to call fear fate.
Please, not another mother.
Weeping in the dark,
Please, not another soul.
losing its spark. Please, let the madness stop. Please, let the children breathe. Please, let the world remember what it was meant to be. Please, let the bombs go silent. Please, let the hatred drop. Please, God, if we can hear you, let the madness stop.
One body, one mind, one soul, same team. One garden, one river, one field.
One dream,
Please, please.
let the madness stop. Let the field be healed, let the children sleep. Let the hungry eat, let the lonely be seen. Let the rivers run clean, let the guns go cold. Let the old world release us. Let the new world take hold. If Eden was a task, please let us begin.